want to do to help.
But first, political fanfare took center stage this week. A dismal jobs report on Friday, though, reminded many viewers that the economy is still issue number one. Just hours after the Republican National Convention wrapped up in St. Paul, Minnesota, officially nominating John McCain as the GOP candidate, the Labor Department came out with dismal news. The unemployment rate in the United States has reached 6.1%. That's the highest level since September 2003.
Stephen Moore of the Wall Street Journal and Daniel Gross from Newsweek join us now to take a look at what both tickets need to address in the coming weeks. Republican National Convention. What did they say there about the economy and how to fix it?
It is. It's like John McCain is swimming upstream, especially with these new numbers on jobs, which are very disappointing. We've had now about 4 straight months of very negative job growth. You know, I think that for the Republican base, this convention for Republicans was a big success. I think the deficiency was, I don't think that John McCain or Sarah Palin fully enough really talked about what they're going to do to fix the economy. They did talk about the fact that, you know, Obama wants to raise taxes and McCain wants to cut them. But I think they're going to need to be more specific, because if the economy is hurting like this in November, the forces of change may overwhelm the Republicans.
Dan, the issue for the Republicans is they have to say that something's wrong with the economy, but ideologically, you don't necessarily want government to go in and fix it.
Right, and you know, the real interesting dynamic here is this inversion. Usually the Democrats have a tough time constructing a narrative. You know, cut taxes for certain people, credits here, and the Republicans have a very easy time. Cut taxes, free trade, we'll have growth. This time it's the opposite. Obama laid out a pretty specific list of things that he would do on health care, economy, housing, etc. The Republicans are kind of had this mixed message. On the one hand, there's, I feel your pain. On the other hand, it's, you know, that pain is just mental, right? There's this kind of glass half full, the economy is okay, but on the other hand, an acknowledgement that we're not quite as well off as we were 4 years ago. And that's a real challenge for them to construct in a few sentences what the problem is and what the solution is.
Well, you know, the other component of this, though, by the way, I mean, part of the Republican message between now and November 4th is going to be, look, raising taxes, the kind of Obama plan that was laid out is exactly the wrong solution. At least this is what Republicans are going to say, that you can't tax your way back to prosperity, that big government is a problem. And that's going to be, I think, the real clash between these two parties over the next 7 weeks.
Are people going to vote on taxes? Are people going to vote on housing issues and housing rescue plans? What are people going to vote on, do you think, Stephen?
I think taxes is always a big issue. It better be if Republicans are going to win, because this has been the pay dirt issue for Christine for since Ronald Reagan, that Republicans are the party of tax relief. What's interesting is Democrats in this election, for the first time in a long time, are saying we're going to provide tax relief for the middle class. If they can pull that off, they can win.
Can they pull it off, though, Dan? Here's my question: we have ourselves in kind of fiscal dire straits in a lot of different ways. I mean, do they have the ability to do what they want to do?
Look, neither party has the ability in the short term or the long term to enact their campaign goals. But
certainly not all of them,
or even a small percentage of them.
Well, that's depressing.
But I hate to break it to Steve, but you know, there's more to life than marginal tax rates. And I think while taxes are an important issue, it's these background issues. Job loss, health care, economic anxiety, concerns about globalization that will ultimately kind of assume a greater prominence in people's mindset, in the voters' mindset this year, and what's troubling them. It's not they're not worried about the fact that taxes might go up in 2010. They're worried about their health care, their job today.